the first time Ada wore the binder, it felt like armor, like we were bulletproof. Um, I feel like this quote from Freshwater connects with the film Amy, and because for Amy Winehouse, I feel like her music was um, it was used as an outlet to keep her sane and emotionally afloat. It also in the film she described her music and her writing music as something that she's always loved to do, and that she when she made music or when she wrote her lyrics and stuff, she felt lucky. Um, so in a sense, that music for Amy Winehouse was like her armor that she put on, to mask the pain, mask whatever. Um, she was happier when she did her music. Um, yeah. Um, okay. Yeah. Her desire um, was more for the love of music versus the fame aspect of the music industry. And that's something I noticed within the movie Amy. Like it was a lot of male commentators. Like you know, in the progression of the film, like you had her, the music producer, you had the talent scout, and then you had like her bodyguard giving commentary about her, her dad even giving commentary about her. Um, and it was just more of like the male perspective of how they saw Amy, um, more so than, you know, women, or even like the women that were close to her. I know one of the parts where her mom was like, her description of Amy was that she was always free, um, and because she was the youngest, she wasn't able to say no to Amy. So that, I feel like that also kind of like formed and shaped who she was, um, not just as an artist but as a person. Um, so the sin that I feel that connects with this week's module would be ambition. Um, um, Ambition is desiring more in life, and in the end, still embracing the freedom that comes with the ambition. Um, so I'm gonna just read a little bit out of here because I didn't write it down. um, on page 89, it says, many things can ensnare women's ambition, catch at its sharp edges until they are blunted, tarnish its shiny parts until they are dulled, chip away at its peaks until they are flattened. Um, it is all done with the instance, excuse me, that women and girls must be less than. Racism insists that women and girls of color be less than their white counterparts. Patriarchy insists that women and girls be less than men and boys. And sometimes we see this especially blatant example of just how patriarchy does that. So I feel like with Amy, tying this back to the film Amy. I feel like in the film Amy, the patriarchy of just like having like her dad, even the man Blake that she ended up marrying, um, how she said she didn't want him to feel less than her at some point in the film. So whatever he did, she did. If he did drugs, she did drugs. If he cut himself, she cut herself. And then vice versa. There was when he described his relationship with Amy, and he was saying, you know, certain things she did, he ended up doing. So yeah, I feel like I'm trying to gather my thoughts, but I feel like with the way um, the patriarchy around the system around her it hindered her growth. It hindered her from being like a very great artist. Even the song, they try to make me go to rehab, but I say no. My daddy says I'm fine. So it's a man telling her that she's okay. And even when she did go to therapy and she was telling him how she felt, and he was just like, oh, it was very dismissive of like like what she was actually feeling, and dismissing her as a person. Um, yeah, so that's what I have for this week. Sorry. Alrighty.